21212. Yep. Went from blacks at the back of the bus to that new black thing, hit the pedal and it's dust. 10 years ago, I was peddling that stuff. Now I tell kids they can do so much better than us. Just being a black man in a white society, you're always in a defensive position. You're almost kind of born into it. And I feel like in a general term, just living your life always being defensive is gonna have a massive toll on your mental health. As far as the stats pertaining to black men when it comes to mental health issues, we know that black men are 17 times more likely to be diagnosed with a serious mental health issue such as bipolar, 6 times more likely to be sectioned, 85% of gang members have a personality disorder, and 25% have psychosis. I think one of the most startling ones is bipolar increases your risk of suicide by 20 times. And I think that's just shocking to hear. Rapper Terror Slim has a bar when he says, they see my skin color as an act of aggression. Without even doing anything, you're already seen as aggressive by just being a black man. And also, you add that to how I look. You know what I mean? I've got tattoos, dreadlocks, whatever. That extra element, I'm always trying to tone myself down so I don't scare anybody. And again, that can have a huge effect on just your day-to-day life. You might not even realize it, but over the years, it becomes something where you always have that mask on. And that's not how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to be able to be ourselves and just be us in all our glory. That's how we were made. The reason I did Man Down, and the parts of that song that really are about my life. There's one of the lines where I say something about they want me to talk, but I don't want to talk. And that's really a big part of the problems that I've been through in my life. Have really come down to me not communicating or me not knowing how to communicate with what's going on in my life. And that line really kind of encapsulates my problems with dealing with depression or just dealing with life in general. And I think a lot of us can learn from that. A lot of us could realize that having someone we can talk out things with and having opportunities to talk things through can really change our perspective on what we're going through. When we're dealing with different issues, you can't always deal with them the same way. When you're dealing with black men, you have to deal with it differently. You have to approach a situation in a way which speaks to black men on a cultural level. I think we deal with a lot of cultural bias in mental health and a lot of cultural bias in how we deal with problems even outside of mental health. And I think we need to be a bit more targeted, or the NHS need to be a bit more targeted in their approach to mental health, bipolar, and dealing with young black men.
Pastor Dutchy.